view, it looks like you and I are just sitting right next to each other at our little tables on the opposite sides and just sitting there by our best friend.
That is really cute and how I want it to be all the time. Welcome in, Q&R Code listeners. This is your co-host, Quinn.
And I'm her proud twin, Riley. Welcome back. We have some important business to get to right off the bat. What do you think that is, Quinn?
Just leave the floor to me, please. You got me shaking my ass in my hot pink shorts. The best song of the 2020s. Just kidding.
Already. I, of course, am loving just on repeat every song off of the Middle of Nowhere album by our close personal friend Kacey Musgraves. It
feels so weird to say her first and last name because we're just in such a, first name type of relationship, but we just wanted to specify for you guys.
That was out of respect to you. And oh my gosh. In fact, it came out while I was in New Zealand and I was with a group of people, including family members on Braden's side of the family. And I was like, okay, while we are playing our game, I would love if you guys were down to listen to this album because I am really looking forward to it. And not necessarily all like country fans, but I was like, that's not really relevant. Play.
Yeah, Sean and I got to debut it on our road trip to Bryce Canyon, and thankfully...
Can we talk about a horse girl fantasy on your way to ride your equine in the most gorgeous place, listening to a brand new, fresh Kacey Middle of Nowhere with the like ranchera and just the theme vibe of it? Yes, please.
Yeah, it worked. It was just like the perfect seasoning. And Ella Langley's album has also just recently come out, so I had the foresight to have downloaded and saved both of those albums, which very good. I love so many of the songs from Back to Kacey. Sorry, Ella, you got your shout out. Moving on.
I thought you were gonna just drop in that we had the pleasure of listening to Dandelion together first. Our first listen through was when I was driving to the tattoo studio with you.
That was really sweet, and we like to listen to music together, and we will be seeing Miss Musgraves in concert for the third time, which is so exciting. And also, I think other than Zac Brown Band, because they came back to Jackson so many times in a row, which was awesome and very fun, I think that's the only artist. For sure. I don't know if I've seen any other artist twice. Like, I think 3 times is definitely...
I cannot say the same.
Yeah, Riley and Braden. It cracked me up.
We don't have horses, so we've gone to live music throughout our early 20s.
Yeah, you guys are probably having a normal conversation that a lot of people, when summer is around the corner, are with their partners being like, oh, what music should we see? And for 3 days in a row, you guys are planning this out. It's not like your whole day was dedicated to it, obviously, but just discussing and planning and purchasing. I'm like, oh my God, you guys are really doing this. They're like, yeah, we are really passionate about it. I'm like, I see that.
Yeah, but also it's crazy because for us that it's might be 3 people. There are a lot of people that go to concerts like every week in the summer, or like go to a lot in a year.
I feel like you guys probably go to a solid 5+ a year, right? the past
Well,
couple of years.
since we've lived in Charlottesville, we have definitely gone more frequently because there
You've lived
are
there for
in
4
lot-
years.
Yeah,
Riley's like,
The-
when we got to Charlottesville a few months ago, we started.
that's true, but I'm just making the difference is like, we didn't also like
Growing
grow
up in
somewhere
Wyoming.
where it was a lot like when I went to Mills, Wyoming to see Charlie Crockett. We had luckily gone to college in Laramie and like gone to Vita View a few times, or I mean to Red Rocks a few times, but yeah. I guess, yeah, it's probably picked up not only because of where we lived, but also just our age and ability to like pay for the experience of going to a concert. And I'm so grateful for it. It's some of my favorite memories.
Thankfully,
Collective
I don't have
effervescence,
lots of.
am I right?
Yes. Riley's like community sparkle effervescence. Just kidding.
And it's
You were
Charlie
so-
Crockett surrounded by little sparkles.
Yeah. Charlie with an EY.
Thank you.
What was I saying right before you said?
It's been so much fun.
I have very few regrets in life, thankfully, and if I had to pinpoint one that has not left my mind, it would be when Lainey Wilson was touring for Bell Bottom Country and performed at Cheyenne Frontier Days, that I was like, I'm gonna go, and then that was one of those financially conservative moments where I'm not gonna blame this on Sean. I will take extreme ownership because I could have 100% been like, you know what, no, like, I think I was the one who made the final call of being like, I'm not gonna do it, but I think he and I had been in talks being like, yeah, money, like, we should probably save it. But it was, I don't know if it was $100 or something. She had not that that's cheap tickets, but so many artists these days, it's
especially at a
400.
bigger concert series like that.
Yeah, it was honestly maybe even less. And yes, it would have been gas money and I would have had to find somewhere to stay, but I love that album with my heart and soul. I love that album, and to miss that was foolish, but it happened.
Foolish. Yeah, well, the thing that I know is we, and you in particular, I want this for you, and I want it for us together, will be able to see Lainey Wilson at some point in the future. And yes, maybe not for that album, but now, yeah, there are times where you just should say yes, and why it's the thought of like, oh, experiences are a better gift than, something physical, because those are really cool memories. And that's something that Brayden and I have done for each other, where for Christmas or birthdays or whatever, we're like, we are having this be the experience, even if it's literally like being planned way out from that, because they're fun. And I'm so glad that you and Sean have gotten to have some of those experiences recently, but with clinics and like equine stuff. And since I didn't get to reply to you, I just wanted to say about the Bryce Canyon experience that just sounds so magical and cool, and I am so happy that you guys did that. And yes, Chef Sean, I can't wait to go camping. And he's one of those guys that in the outdoors, he gets so inspired with the Blackstone. He just wants to cook up, and he cuts the most perfect little diced potatoes. I'm
and don't think that they get sloppy just because we're out on the road. No, Sean, they're a centimeter by a centimeter all around, or what do you like?
No, even less.
Tiny.
They're like a half inch, or not half inch, like half, no, 3/4 of a centimeter.
Okay.
And
just so you can really picture it. Take out your rulers, everybody. Draw a square and you'll see what Sean is prepping in the kitchen.
Dude, that just made me think of like base 10 blocks when they would get out like the cube and the stick and the different ones. And because then
Oh,
that's
those
how
were
I can,
fun.
yeah, that's always how I can picture a centimeter. So I'm like, not exactly a base 10.
Riley. They start that way and then they cook down.
Yeah, okay, true.
But
Either way.
he's perfect in that way. We'll take our wins.
That
He
just is so much
is
fun, and I can't wait for going to those clinics and experiences with you.
I can't wait for it either. And so we've had to become such resilient twins because now it's been so long in our adulthood that people meet us separately. And don't
But
worry,
do they
you were
really?
brought up.
Yeah.
No,
But
because
do they really?
the other half of my heart. You were brought up, and I was talking to who I had said was like a new favorite friend that if she listens, this is I should not say that. I'm not saying she's like my best friend or something, guys. I'm just saying I really like her. Jeez. But when I was telling her about my twin, I was like, yeah, she immediately said about you, like had just said, I'm a twin, her name is Riley, she's the best, she's literally so awesome. And she's like, oh, that is so sweet. I'm like, yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, you would have loved to see Sean walking down the strip past the whole arena to get to me while there's all these mules and people out and about, and he has both of our plates of breakfast and both of our mugs of our morning drinks balancing, gets them all the way to us. I'm like, you are awesome, thank you. And I like got up from the bleachers to meet him over and offer help, and he's like, oh no, I've got it. One more
She's
quick
like, you
note.
will not help if you take something out of this situation.
Oh, that's, yeah. He's like, no. He obviously had it engineered to be as tight as it could be. But I was thinking about you talking about the Kacey Musgraves album, saying how nice it is to listen to music about horses, which it is, and I love. And shout out to one particular line that I love from her song, Everybody wants to be a cowboy.
Be a cowgirl.
Till it's 5 a.m.
when it's cold as hell and the work ain't gonna do itself.
Exactly. That's the line. Which I was thinking about that, and for one second I was in my feels. It was a late night and I was getting home and I was like, it's true, people don't understand. And then I'm like, literally me coming into a house, warm, sleeping in my bed, do not have to get up at 5 a.m. for my operation, but
you super tastefully did not bring this up on your podcast about Bryce Canyon Mule Days, but there is also a line about when your truck continues to break down and you still have a long way to go, and I'm like, oh, Quinn, truck broken down with trailer towing 3 equine behind her.
yes, we did have, thankfully, minimal in the terms of less consequential than it could have been, but 3 breakdowns total because it was all the same thing, and a part that now we knew it was on the turbo. The turbo blew where the boot blew, and
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know where to look for that, Riley?
Locked in. If that happens, totally prepared. This is why I was like, I should pursue some education in mechanics. I'm completely helpless to my vehicle.
Yeah, well, it helps that we have such an old truck that it's an '07, and that you can look under the hood and actually, when you start to know a little bit about it, you can kind of deduce some things, unlike a lot of the brand new trucks or cars where it's like, okay, well, there goes being able to ever DIY. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
That
like
is
that.
kind of
But
crazy. I was listening to a podcast actually where someone was talking about how like everything becoming more computerized like disempowers basically handwork, like making your own clothes, fixing your own car, doing these things, and because everything now is just owned by big tech, and I'm like, ah, yeah, there seems to be actually a lot of problems coming along with these handful of dorks owning everything that exists in the world.
yep. But there was one breakdown that was not ideal because, no surprise, the turbo, it blew, whatever you want to call it. This is not the formal term for it, but it blew when I was driving up a pass, because that's when the turbo's really going. And so I got off as far to the side as I could, but there's barely any shoulder on this pass, and it was not fun to, in my side view mirror, watch a semi attempt to move, because it's a curvy pass, and a couple of semis were next to each other, and one semi was in the lane where we were partially in, and it ended up being someone that was a tow truck, and he pulled up around us and stopped once he got above us and checked in, and he did tell Sean, I'm in the car watching this because Sean was like, you are not getting out to help me with this right now, and I'm watching this, and I would not say that we almost got hit, but Sean said that the guy said, I almost hit you guys, and I'm like, well,
Not saying we almost got hit, but he did. Damn.
Anyway, so that's just, yeah, Sean, I'm very lucky, grateful, appreciative to have Sean.
You guys had your indicators on, right? He just didn't
Well,
see.
yeah.
Damn.
No, you could only see as much as you could see coming up around a curve around the pass.
Yeah. Yeah.
And having momentum
That's
being a
just so
semi.
scary when you have all your babies with you.
I know, which is why Sean is like pulls over and he's literally like zoom out the side of the truck, zoom flips up the truck, being like pow, pow, moving at the speed of light, trying to get everything fixed.
Yeah.
And
obviously you don't want to get hit, but that's when it is nice to have like the orange little triangles that trucks like will put out. We should add one to your trailer.
yeah, that's Sean said that we have flares for that purpose in the back as well, but we were just trying to get in and out of there as quick as possible.
Yeah.
If it had ended up being a longer fix, we would have done that, but we knew what it was. It had happened 2 times already. And we were at the so close to getting over it and having that be the last big incline before we got home. But anyhow, it's very nice to have someone in the relationship that is passionate about mechanical systems and about trucks and trailers. Like, he is, we know this, a tinkerer, and he loves to learn about engines and trucks and all that stuff. So thankfully, what we are about to debut that we're going to focus on in the next episode, but because I am about to go on a solo trip hauling my equine, and we've just been over time putting a lot into our truck, but Sean is making sure, we're going to pick up the truck from the shop today. As soon as we got home, Sean got an appointment and got the truck in for an extra look over about everything and replacing of those parts. And it's just, I feel very lucky to have someone that cares about my safety and well-being so much, and is like, that is the biggest priority of my week this week, is making sure that the truck is completely up to date for you, that the trailer has the extra things we need for it. I'm like, okay, protector. Oh, God.
Yes, that is super nice to have someone with your that energy behind you in whatever ways. Like, obviously that's a specific scenario, but there are so many different ways a partner can just show up and help you out. And that
This
boy
way is hottest.
Yeah, that way is amazing. And also, I was just going to say, I feel like you have to have a lot of chutzpah to stay single out there, especially if you're going to do something like have animals or raise kids or whatever, because
Oh
when
my
you
God,
have to be
yeah.
focusing on one area to be like, can you handle all of the meals? Like, that is not a thought that I can have right now, which is, divide and conquer is very
Yeah.
helpful, although conquer is not exactly the word that I would prefer to be
Or
used
at least
for
like
that.
divide and settle indigenous lands.
Like, how about divide and contribute? And to think of the people that have partners that don't like to contribute in a very multifaceted way, I am sorry for, because Sean is awesome at doing that where it counts. So is Brayden. So are you, and am I. And
Yep. As
anyway,
my
I am
chiropractor would say, she's glad she didn't marry a loser. Because
Yeah.
she's pregnant, and I ask her how things are going and whatever, and she's like, yeah, I didn't marry a loser, so things are coming along swell.
Yeah, me neither. Which, speaking of, we can all give a big congratulations to Brayden, who is going to be a doctor when you hear this.
Whoa! Yay,
I'm
Dr.
indeed
Brayden!
doctor, you guys. I know it. It might seem like med school's a lot of hard work. It is. And he's been doing such a good job. And now just has to do a residency, which
is 10
is
times harder.
but technically a job, so you get paid.
Money.
Huge improvement over not getting paid and, in fact, paying for the experience. And we get to be close to Quinn, Sean, and all of the babies.
I thought you were going to say, and we live close to a Buc-ee's. Just kidding.
That it was not on my radar in that moment, but it is way closer to the Buc-ee's than I live near in Virginia.
Yeah, it was a deciding factor with where you guys ranked the programs.
No.
To be honest.
However,
Brayden loves it, though.
Will I say that we are going to ever go there? We definitely will, which is, again, more than I can say, living in Charlottesville, where we haven't gone to a Buc-ee's once since we've lived here, other than the one that was in Colorado. So congratulations to Buc-ee's. Also, congratulations
new patrons.
To imagine of our podcast, our first sponsor was Buc-ee's. That, I think, would have been
I'd take it.
Yeah, I'm not saying, certainly not saying that we would say no at this point, as long as we can continue talking about the fact that we also did not feel great about that display of consumerism in America. I cannot wait to talk next episode about the upcoming opportunity that Quinn is taking on. I'm just so proud of Quinn, and I will also mention that her books just opened. They will be closed again when you hear this, so don't get any ideas, you guys. I'm so appreciative and feel so proud of Quinn because so many people have been interested, and not only that, it's really great to see how many people are return clients to Quinn. I think that means a whole lot, that on one day just ready to get on the books with her, all of them prepped, got their forms submitted. So exciting to see the different ideas that people are having. And we sometimes talk about tattoos and tattooing on here, of course, but I just thought before this episode started to not bring up enough how fun it is to just see your little cutie tattoos in the day. Brushing my teeth, I was like, oh my gosh, my little tattoos with Quinn, and you spread a lot of joy with that.
Oh, thank you. It means the most to have the world's best scheduling assistant, and quite literally, no one knows me better. So if it could be a better fit, someone let me know, because, hey, Riley's not fully secure in this position. If there's a better option, tell me. But Riley is very intuitive, and speaking of protector, she has been a big advocate for me and prioritizes me taking on what makes sense and maintaining the boundaries that we know are important for my mental and physical health, when I will be like, oh yeah, no, it's okay, we'll do it. She's like, no, let's not. And it's very helpful to have someone, even when it's maybe not the most fun thing to have to be the no person sometimes, but it's very, very helpful to have a protector and advocate on my team who wants me to succeed and wants me to be busy doing something I love, but wants me to be able to maintain that for a long time. And you're a rock star, Riley, and my clients don't even know how lucky they have. Actually, they do. They are like, Riley is the best. And when Riley was here visiting, there were a couple of days that she came into the studio with me, and my clients were like, stop. Is that the celebrity sighting? They're like, Riley is here today? Yep, and that's an extra $100. Just kidding. But they love everyone loves us better together, so we get it.
It just
better
makes
as a
more
package.
sense. And that's what we bring you every week here on the Q&R Code, except for our occasional solos that we've dropped in recently, which are also so fun for both of us and for you guys. I know it's fun for you guys because nobody's like, oh, who's speaking right now? Now that we're both going to live in Colorado, I'm sorry to those of you who have said you're looking for hints for who's talking at different points.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
what to tell you.
We just every once in a while do we make a call that's like, that's Quinn talking,
the
or
Quinny call? Yeah, I like that we sound alike. It is a trip thinking, just even you saying about meeting your clients, it's so funny to think that we have these parasocial relationships with people where I'm like, oh, that is interesting that you haven't ever actually heard me in person or seen me or anything.
Yeah, but my clients who listen to the podcast just know that in my heart, you are at favorites. The top. My truth is, I love you the best, and no, I mean, yes. However,
You're
additionally,
both different, special but different ways.
I do like that people will meet us in person and meet Riley in person, and they're like, wow, yeah, you sounded so alike on the podcast, but I didn't realize that I would still be this confused in real life. I'm like, it's our strong suit. It's our personality. Enjoy it. Can you imagine we're doing voice lessons to try to sound more like each other? We're like, no, it's totally casual. We don't try us every week.
No, I can't imagine, because we just naturally start talking like each other, like when Quinn started to talk like in a Dutch voice in her house, and I'm like, I'm gonna start trying that out.
Yeah, and then you were like, well, where did Stitch go? I do not talk like this no more.
I know, I did go like that. Because Quinn just, I don't know, kicked Stitch to the curb.
Quinn kick-stitched the curb.
Okay, let's wrap this episode up. I am loving you, Quinn. Grateful for all of your guys' support, and shout out especially this week to the Tattoo by Quinn girlies and others, predominantly though the girlies.
Yeah, we love you guys. Thank you for the support. Thank you for letting me have a job that is a true passion, and Riley through that gets to passionately help me. So
And
we are
I
both
am
positively moved and affected by you.
100%. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.